this phono with Mrs. Taghreed Hussein, Senior Correspondent to Nile TV and President of Nile TV International. Good afternoon, Mrs. Hussein.
Good afternoon to you, Amal.
Mrs. Hussein, please, could you give us an idea about the main points that were, or the aims of the National Strategy of the Human Rights that was launched by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi today?
Well, Amal, it was really amazing today. Earlier, we've been drawing the main cornerstones of the features of the new republic, and guess the venue itself speaks for itself, standing side by side in the new administrative capital. Al-Fattah al-Alim Mosque and the Nativity Christ Cathedral both are harmonizing as they had witnessed this important event that affirmed, as His Excellency President Sisi said, how the state today continues to exert relentless efforts at the level of the freedom of religion and also belief, and how Egypt, with its diversity, continues today to make relentless efforts in order to emphasize on the values of citizenship, the values of tolerance, and also dialogue, and combat any sort of incitement on violence or any sort of discrimination. So today's event is actually a witness and a reflection of how the state today achieved remarkable progress in order to ensure equality among its citizens, and also regarding their rights and their duties.
Yes. Mrs. Hussein, do you think that today's launching of this strategy of human rights would go parallel with the national projects like, for example, the Decent Life initiative, which would push forward the strategy of Egypt towards the new republic?
Definitely, Amal, wise what you said, because all those important projects and the developmental projects all over the country are putting the human being, the Egyptian, in the core. The president, under his directives, is always giving directives that the human being comes first. We need to provide quality of life to our citizens. That's why came here the Decent Life Initiative, as you have mentioned. Came also the different health services that has been presented to the different categories of the society, namely women and children. Also the care that has been reflected and provided also to the elderly. The president said that the state is committed to respecting and protecting personal freedoms as well, the right of political participation and the freedom of expression. So today, the launching of the National Strategy for Human Rights in the new administrative capital is considered to be a very important milestone that has been added to the features of the new republic. Egypt welcomes differences in opinions as long as they reflect and they respect the freedoms of others, and aim through this constructive sense of criticism to achieve definitely the better for the people and for the nation. Amal, it has been a wonderful event where we've seen more concerning the highlights of the strategy, and as His Excellency Presidential Spokesman Ambassador Bassam Radi said, that it is the first comprehensive and long-term homegrown strategy in the human rights field in Egypt. So, mind you, it is considered to be a great milestone, and it has been hailed actually worldwide and by also international representation. There has been today actually the address of the President of the United Nations Human Rights Council, Nazhat Shamin Khan, and she praised actually Egypt's launching of the first National Strategy for Human Rights. And in this address to the launching ceremony, she said that the strategy is mainly aiming at boosting and protecting human rights in Egypt, and also cited the fact that it is an important step to implement international human rights criteria and guaranteeing also human rights as well. So protecting human rights is a very important cornerstone, she termed, for the action of the United Nations Human Rights Council. So that's why she regarded the launching ceremony today as a very important milestone. Also, we've seen today the fruit of important efforts like what has been going on now, and the culmination was today. And this came also in a speech by Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri, who explained that the Supreme Permanent Committee for Human Rights, which is chaired by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, had prepared this new strategy And since 2018, this permanent committee has been established by a decree on behalf of Prime Minister Madbouli in order to manage the human rights file in Egypt under the Foreign Ministry. This committee has constituted a very important addition to the institutional structure that supports human rights. And today has been actually, we're reaping the fruit of the effort of this important committee and its establishment that definitely reflected on the firm political determination in order to translate all the constitutional obligations and the regional and international conventions commitments into a tangible reality. Amal.
Yes, Mrs. Taghreed, you've just mentioned a very important point, which is the praising of the Human Rights, UN Human Rights Committee, who praised the strategy. So we would like to speak about the timing of this initiative in a time that the whole world is really paying very good attention to the human rights in the whole world.
Definitely, yes. Her Excellency, Mrs. Nazhat Khan, had stated that it is a very important milestone, and she said that I have to commend Egypt for launching the first national strategy for human rights. She considered today, although the launching ceremony, a great step on the path of success, and said that this is mainly aimed at boosting and protecting human rights in Egypt, and it is an important step to implement international human rights criteria and guaranteeing human rights. So it was congratulations on her behalf, and she said that protecting human rights is considered to be very important for the action of the United Nations Human Rights Council that she chairs. And she said that Egypt took a very important step in this regard. So she was really commending and lauding Egypt's efforts in that respect. Also, the event has been attended by many international figures. This in addition, of course, to senior officials all over the country. Foreign ambassadors were also present. It is considered to be a great step, a huge step, and a huge leap forward. And Amal, this has been actually also translated in how the president has expressed happiness on his Facebook page, while he said that he was really pleased to attend this important event and also to listen to the thorough discussions that has been there, because there has been also a round table discussion taking place and discussing also the role of the civil society as a very important and a main pillar in enhancing and protecting human rights at the political, economic, as well as the social levels. And the president hailed the role of civil society organizations and how they are contributing to spreading awareness of human rights in the society and participating in the efforts to face extremism. Amal.
Yes, Mrs. Hussein. So from today, we can feel that this is a national strategy. At the same time, it's a national project that is going to focus on social and economic and cultural rights of Egyptians and also of expatriates or the Egyptians living abroad.
Yes, definitely a very important milestone. And Egyptians living abroad, actually, they have a bond with the home, with the motherland.
Yes.
So Egypt today, with its rich religious heritage, is continuing to making those efforts to emphasize the values of citizenship, to emphasize the values of tolerance and dialogue without any sort of violence or discrimination. And mind you, also how the state has achieved remarkable progress ensuring equality among the citizens in rights and in duties. And the president had cited the issuance of a law on the construction and the restoration of churches, for instance, as an example. And he said that this law has resulted in the legalization of the status of 1,800 unlicensed churches and other adjacent structures. So very meaningful that we are today developing a comprehensive approach to human rights as an integral part of implementing the country's national development project.
Yes, Mrs. Taghreed, finally, could you give us your insight concerning how that Egyptians now are full of pride, and how are you proud of this initiative or this strategy that was launched today by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi?
It is definitely with all feelings of pride that we are witnessing such an event that is considered to be unparalleled actually in Egypt's history. This is the new republic. This is new Egypt. This is the Egyptian state that is committed to respecting and protecting freedoms. This is the new republic that is committed to respecting the right of political participation. This is the new republic that respects women, respects the elderly, cares for them, and cares for them by also implementing important comprehensive platforms, programs, and plans of action to make their lives better. This is what the President is always asserting, that the main aim is to make the Egyptians' lives better and to make Egypt, as he always says, at the dunya, to make Egypt as great as it is always and as it should be.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time and for providing us with this valuable information, and also bringing us a real picture of this strategy that was launched today by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. I thank you very much, Mrs. Taghreed Hussein, Senior Correspondent and President of Nile TV International. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a short break and I'm going to be back with you.